Whether surviving the impossible or achieving the unbelievable, our bodies are incredible things. But what happens when we push the human body to the absolute limit? How long can we go without eating? You may have heard the old rule of 3 when it comes to human survival. We can go 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. While that works as an average, we are here to find out the maximum time a person could survive without eating. Experts estimate that a human can survive up to 7 weeks, around 70 days without food. This doesn't mean you can start skipping a few meals and not suffer serious setbacks though. And after a few days of not eating, your body will begin to break down fatty tissue. You aren't feeding your body the fuel it needs, so it has no choice but to start using up your reserves. After a week without eating, those reserves will likely be gone. You're now just like a car running on fumes. Except, when your body runs out of fatty tissue to break down, it starts looking at protein to fill the void. This is when your body starts breaking down your muscles. After 2 weeks, you will start to lose heart, liver, and kidney function. So while 70 days sounds like a testament to the resilience of our amazing bodies, it really represents one long, slow, painful death from starvation. Not a good way to go. How about drinking? Our bodies have emergency reserves for when we don't eat, but when it comes to drinking water, it's a different story. Our bodies are actually made up of about 60% water, but lose just 3% of that and you'll start feeling the effects. With that in mind, you might not be surprised to learn that we can only survive about a week without water. And that's a maximum. A stretch that long without dehydration is only possible if the climate is cool. If you happen to be somewhere hot and in direct sunlight saying no to H2O, you'll be lucky to last 3 days. Feeling thirsty yet? Grab a glass of water, because you might need it for this next topic. We're about to push our bodies to the limit. What is the maximum amount of food a human can possibly eat? It's time to get greedy. Finding out the extremes of what a human being can consume is hardly straightforward, but luckily, we can turn to the tried and tested methods of hot dog eating contests. Currently, the world record is a stomach-stretching 76 hot dogs in a single sitting. That's enough to burst most belts. But this gets even more interesting when we look at how a human can eat so much food so quickly. We actually possess a rapid active consumption rate when compared to most animals. Humans can eat an estimated maximum of 830 grams a minute. A grizzly bear, only 798. With the active consumption rates in mind, the estimated true maximum amount of hot dogs a human could consume in a sitting would be 83. An adult grizzly bear could chow down around 80. But the real winner of this Animal Kingdom-wide eating contest is the wolf. Thanks to their active consumption rates, they could potentially eat 112 hot dogs. There's only one question left to ask. Do wolves prefer mustard or ketchup or both? How long can we go without sleeping? We all know the feeling of having heavy eyelids, and that not hitting the hay is almost always guaranteed to make you feel a little grouchy. But if we could tolerate those things, could we simply not sleep? Figuring out the maximum length of time a human can go without shut-eye is almost impossible for ethical reasons. Though we do know that a person can go over a week without sleep, because people have done it. The world record belongs to Randy Gardner, who stayed awake for 11 days during an experiment back in the 1960s. While the then 17-year-old experienced hallucinations, paranoia, and was unable to concentrate, he suffered no other health problems from the experiment. 60 years on, we now know that sleep deprivation is linked to serious health issues, such as diabetes and cancer. So even if we can go more than a week without sleep, it doesn't mean we should. How much data can we store in our brains? Imagine a hard drive with so much storage space you can never fill it. You essentially have one already, in your head. The human brain is estimated to be capable of storing 2.5 million gigabytes worth of information. That's equivalent to 3 million hours of your favorite TV show. Binge watching all of that would take you about 300 years. Next time your smartphone storage fills up and you have to start deleting those classic photos to make more space, be thankful that our brains will never require such maintenance. In an age of ever-advancing technology, there still exists no device that can match up to our minds. How far down can we swim in the ocean? We aren't designed to go exploring shipwrecks at the bottom of the sea. Atmospheric pressure makes this a most dangerous excursion without the right equipment. But let's say you don't have any equipment. How far down can you go? Those with experience and a talent for holding their breath can make it down as far as 100 feet. As the pressure in the water changes, our lungs expand and our heart rate slows. Some divers can even bring their heart rate down by 50%. But if you can make it down 100 feet in the water, your problem is how fast you are going to run out of oxygen. Most people can hold their breath for around 30 seconds, but we're talking about the limits of our body here. The world record for a single breath held underwater is just over 11 minutes. Despite this incredible achievement, oxygen is still the obstacle keeping us from swimming further down without equipment. A lack of oxygen can lead to serious brain damage, making freediving a risky exercise, and one that if done wrong could lead to you permanently swimming with the fishes. How high can we go? The oxygen issue keeps from going down, and it also keeps us from going too far up. Walking on clouds comes with the problem that at high altitudes, there is less oxygen in the air. If you were to climb some of the highest peaks on Earth, you would eventually find yourself entering the death zone, 26,000 feet above sea level. Its name leaves little to the imagination, and though severe altitude sickness can set in at lower levels, if you've made it this far and you're without supplemental oxygen, your body is going to start shutting down. How long can we possibly live? It's the big one. And it's a question that we have been trying to answer for generations. As living standards and access to medicine improve in much of the world, so does our life expectancy. But it's going to take some impressive resilience for anyone to celebrate more birthdays than the oldest human ever. Jeanne Calment, a French woman born in 1875, lived to be a world record 122 years old. She witnessed the invention of the telephone and eventually the cell phone too. No human has ever been recorded to reach the milestone of 120, but Jeanne had that beat by 2 years. This leaves us with the theory that the maximum human lifespan is around 125 years. That's a whole lot of candles for one cake. The human body continues to amaze and surprise us every day, and with time, we can only imagine it stretching these incredible limits even further.